So today we'll be discussing an interesting issue of child marriage from South Asian context. So as we know, on the 11th of October, that is the International Day of the Girl Child, uh, Save the Children has released a report with respect to the context of child marriages and related mortality. It finds that there are 60 girls dying of child marriage every day around the world. So this is a staggering number, where 60 girls are dying of child marriage every day around the world, and six of them, especially in South Asia. It further finds that young girls married at an early age succumb to pregnancy and childbirth. The report finds that in South Asia alone, we have 2,000 young girls dying every year and 22,000 dying globally. So, this is the facts from the report saying that young girls who are married off at an early age, they succumb to pregnancy and childbirth, ultimately causing such a huge number of mortality. Even if they survive the pregnancy and childbirth, their health takes a heavy toll, often leading to lifelong weaknesses and menstrual disorders. So, such is the condition of women who are married at such an early age, young girls especially. The child marriage in itself is a marriage of compromise. As you can say, marriages are a compromise where groom is much older than girl. So the groom is much older than the girl, and they face violence and sexual exploitation from their family members. So this is the key thing which must be observed with respect to such marriages. Especially young girls are at a higher risk of domestic violence, and they are at an additional burden of household chores. They're made to work like anything, and they're also punished for their minor mistakes. So this is the disproportionate burden which such girls face. Apart from it, recent child marriages also have the COVID context, wherein largely because of the incomes being affected, people are forced to marry off their daughters early. So it has a strong economic context to it, linked to COVID pandemic. So people are stripped of their income, they have lost a sustainable source of income, so hence they are being forced to marry of their daughters early. So in India, especially in states like Rajasthan and Haryana, the situation is much worse, and especially in this region, as we know, there's a skewed sex ratio. So girls are pushed into marriage at an early age. So this is the overall context in such regions, and this is not just an issue of economic or patriarchal thing. It's also a larger issue of attitude in society where, unless the perception of girl child being a pariah then is disposed of, the child marriages continue. So she's often called a pariah than someone else's property, so property which is eventually to be sold off. So they will think of selling her off very early. So such a mindset of a girl child being a pariah then it has to be ultimately shelved. And in this context, the concluding remarks here can be the Prime Minister's initiatives such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So this has to be renewed. This initiative has to be, it's high time to start it with a renewed vigor and a right earnest, so that whatever the damages which are being done with respect to the COVID pandemic, especially in terms of economic loss, etc., can be further reversed, and such marriages can be stopped despite the legal hurdles. So, such campaigns, such attitudinal changes in society are necessary to stop child marriage in the society. So, this topic is very much relevant from the societal perspective, ethics perspective, and also the essay context.